my name is Psychic. I want to teach you everything I know about psychokinesis. This is a series of tutorials that you should really start watching from the beginning. You can't start a path from the middle or from the end. If you don't watch the previous videos, you might not fully understand what is it that I will address today, since I won't repeat myself when it comes to certain topics and terminology. Hopefully by now you have been practicing all the techniques I have spoken about in these series. This is really important, because today I will tell you how you can create fire. Creating fire using psychokinesis is truly one of the hardest things to achieve in your journey of self-mastery. This is not just about tapping into an existing flow of energy. This is not just about creating a quantum connection with an object or a particle. At this point, I want to repeat that you should definitely check all my previous tutorials and practice the techniques discussed over there. Because in order to start a flame with your consciousness, you are going to have to use multiple techniques all at once. Keeping in mind that your uniqueness might also make it very hard for you specifically to achieve the results that you want. Let's break this down. First, you need to understand what causes fire in order to determine what connections you will need and what technique to use. So what would naturally cause a fire in a forest? High atmospheric temperatures and dryness. Some will say low humidity offer the perfect condition for a fire to start. All that is left is something that can easily burn and a spark of some sort, like lightning from the sky. So what causes the lighting? Air acts as an insulator between the positive and negative charges in the cloud and between the cloud and the ground. When the opposite charges build up enough, this insulating capacity of the air breaks down and there is a rapid discharge of electricity. I know this is a lot to take in right now, but in order to start a fire, you are basically going to have to control all these elements at once, which won't be easy. Creating lightning is already an exercise that might take you many years of practice. But since we're not trying to create a forest fire, let's start with something small. To start our small fire, we need to talk about static electricity. Static electricity is the result of an imbalance between negative and positive charges in an object. I need you to learn all this information and know it like the back of your hand, or you'll never be able to properly start a flame. Don't get me wrong, the first time I started a fire using my consciousness, I didn't know anything. I was just focusing on producing heat in an object using a quantum connection. But it took me years and the results were always really different. It was almost like it was just happening out of pure luck. There was no consistency and or precision. Only after I started learning the science and truly broke down what I was actually doing that I started to see proper results. So trust me when I tell you that you will need this knowledge. Now to make things easy, pick an object that will burn easily, like a lightning would pick a dry tree, a candle, a match, a piece of paper, even a dry leaf. Just pick something that can burn very, very easily. Once you have chosen the object, start resonating with the airflow around the object. I hope that you have been practicing your Air Force, because what you are going to have to do is very hard. Make the airflow around the object move in a way that removes moisture, make the air basically dry up. This might require that you create a quantum connection with the air itself to make it heat up. Simultaneously, you are going to need a quantum connection with the object you are trying to light up. Focus on making the particle of the object charge negatively and positively till they create static electricity. The high temperature and the static electricity should start a fire. Keep in mind you have to do all of this at once, which means resonating with multiple flows of energy. One being a force and the other being a still object. And here we are talking about starting a fire with an object that has the potential to start a fire like a match. If you want to start a fire completely out of nowhere, it would take a third aspect, but we won't go into that right now. So my suggestion is to break this down into different exercises. First, go back to the Air Force training and now try a quantum connection with the airflow and try to make it hotter. You can sit in an empty room and really focus on heating up the air around you. Then extend your hands out and try to heat up only a specific spot. Maybe try to heat up only the air between your hands. Once you think you have mastered this technique, move to creating a static electricity spark. Again, try with your hands first. Visualization is the key for this exercise. Your knowledge of how these things work in nature will be the key for your imagination to help you focus. Having two quantum connections at the same time is going to be exhausting, so make sure you are well rested before you even attempt this. Also keep in mind that air is a positive force while fire and electricity are negative, so when you are tapping into both of these elements you really are going to have to find the perfect balance. Balance is always required for any sort of creation. Creations are the most difficult abilities to achieve in psychokinesis, so don't feel frustrated if this won't work immediately. Once again, remember this is your journey of self-mastery. There is no space for ego and greed. Make sure you are learning this for the right reasons. Take care, my friends. I will see you in the next video.